Hello guys, so welcome to Examdays. So in this video we are going to discuss about in the series of MLHP entrance exam questions. So these are the multiple choice questions where we are discussing in the series of 100 videos. So today is the 10th video we are going to discussing on it. So the first question today is going to be welder flash is caused due to exposure to what? Welder flash is caused due to exposure to A. Heat, B. Vibration, C. Ultraviolet radiation, D. Ionizing radiations. So welder flash is nothing but ultraviolet radiations. So option C is the correct answer. So explanation: ultraviolet UV radiations cover the wavelength range between the 100 to 400 nanometer. So we have to remember what is the exact the wavelength of UV radiations, so which is 100 to 400. The clear information is listed out here for the candidate reference purpose. So you can see here, we can write it here, 100 to 400 nanometer, so which is a higher frequency and lower wavelength than the visible light. Moving on to the next question. Biocenosis is seen in A. Cement factory, B. Textile industries, C. Iron factories, D. Grain fields. Biocenosis seen in the mainly in textiles industries. Yes. Causes: breathing, which means inhaling the dust produced by raw cotton can cause biosynthesis. Okay, here is a we can say biosynthesis. So it is the most common in the people who work in the textile industry. These who are sensitive to dust, that can be asthma like condition after being exposed. So this is the mainly disease has been targeted in the textile industry. So this entire process which we call as a biosynthesis. Moving on to the next question. X-ray chest shows ground glass appearance lower to 2/3 of a lung in X-rays. X-ray chest shows that the ground glass appearance lower 2/3 of lung in A. Anthracosis, B. Silicosis, C. Asbestosis, D. Formal lung. The correct answer is going to be option C, asbestosis. Explanation: where asbestosis is a chronic lung disease caused by the inhaling asbestos fibers. Prolonged exposure to these fibers can cause a lung tissue scarring and shortness of breath. Asbestosis symptoms can be ranged from the mild to severe and usually don't appear until many years after initial exposure. So here is given the exactly what kind of particle is going to be into the body through air, which we call as a inhale. So because it is a chronic lung disease. Next question. Useful screening test is lead is measurement of useful screening test for lead is measurement of A. Copromerine in urine, B. Lead in blood, C. Lead in urine, and D. Amino levulinic acid in urine. The correct answer is going to be option A, copropyrene in urine. Explanation: the small amount of porphyrin we call as a copropyrene are excreted in normal human urine, so which is also present in belly and faces. ALA, PBG and uropyrimidine are extracted in the urine cases. So this will be extracted in the belly and faces. So here is given. So it is a very common thing which is in the urine cases. Next question. Which of the following exposures require daily examination of workers? Which of the following exposures which required daily examination of workers? A. Lead, B. Arsenic, C. Dischromate, D. Radium. The correct answer is going to be answer C. Dichromate. Where the dichromate is an anion with a chemical formula Cr2O7-2. It's used to strong oxidizing agent in organic chemistry, as well as the primary standard of solution in volumetric analysis. The chromate iron and dichromate ions are interconvertible in aqueous solution, so this we call as a dichromate. So this is the exactly the shape and the crystal particle which will be in the form of the crystal. Okay, so this formula is going to be Cr2O7 2 minus. This is the main important process where we have to examine the daily workers. Okay, so this is the very part. So remember, this is a dichromate, which is the colors in the light red, pure red color. Next question. Safety officers have to be appointed in factories where the number of workers is more than what? Safety officers have been appointed in the factories where the number of workers is more than what? Your options: 500, 1000, 2000 and 5000. The correct answer is going to be option B, 1000. So if more than 1000 workers in the factory, then safety officer will be appointed for the sake of safety issues. Next question. Under ESI, sickness benefit is payable for a maximum period of. Under ESI category, rules and regulations of ESI, sickness benefit is payable for a maximum period of A. 25 days, B. 56 days, C. 91 days, D. 124 days. The correct answer is going to be option C, 91 days. Basic principles of genetics were laid down by. Basic principles of genetics were laid down by A. Mendel, B. Jijo and Levin, C. Darwin, D. Watson and Crick. So the correct answer is going to be A. Mendel. So our modern understanding of how traits may be inherited through the generations comes from the principles proposed by the George Mendel in 1865. Moving on to the next question in this series, it's going to be Down syndrome is due to what? Down syndrome is due to, your options is going to be A. Trisomy 21, B. Translocation 22/20, trisomy 18, D. None of the above. Down syndrome is due to, mostly we can say that trisomy 21 will be it's occurred like say this syndrome is referred to as a trisomy 21. This is the extra copy changes how the baby body and the brain development, which can cause the both mental as well as physical challenges of the for a baby, even though the people with Down syndrome might act like a similar, each person has a different abilities. So this is a may cause in the Down syndrome, especially in the trisomy 21, which we can lose. So these are the images given for the reference purpose. So what are the symptoms we can identify it in Down syndrome cases. Next question. A science which aims to improve the genetic endorsement of human population is. Once again, the science which aims to improve the genetic endowment of human population is A. Eugenesis, B. Euthanasis, C. Eurythmic, the bionomic. The correct answer is going to be option A, eugenomic. Yes. This is the valid point for the eugenomic, where it states that the immortal theory of the facial improvement or the planning BD, which also called as the aims to improve the genetic environment of human population, which comes under the eugonics. Glucose 16 phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency is inherited as what? A, autosomal dominant, B, X-linked dominant, C, autosomal recessive, D, X-linked recessive. The correct answer is going to be option C, X-linked recessive. So the question is going to be glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency is inherited as a X-linked recessive. So here is given X-linked, the recessive is unaffected father and the carrier mother, so it will be affected to the children who are born. So glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase is inherited in X-rays pattern. So this one image is enough to understand what is the affected unaffected person from the father and mother. So you have to understand how it's going to be linked between the couple of the persons. Moving on to the next question. Average number of daughters a newborn girl will bear during her lifetime, assuming fixed age, specific fertility, and mortality rate is a. Once again, we are going to reading the question. So, which is the average number of the daughters of a newborn girl will bear during her lifetime, assuming fixed age, specific fertility, and mortality rate is what? A, gross production rate, B, net production rate, C, total fertility rate, D, general fertility rate. So the correct answer is going to be net reproduction rate. So you have to understand what is going to be the exact question is the average number of daughters a hypothetical cohort of women would have end up their reproductive period if they were subjected to during their whole lives to the fertility rates and the mortality rates of a given period. It is exposed as a number of daughters per a woman. Oral pills as a post-coital contraception is effective if used within a days of an unprotected intercourse. A, 2 days, B, 3 days, C, 5 days, D, 7 days. So the correct answer is going to be option A, 2 days. So within the 2 days of the unprotected intercourse, so this oral pill be used to avoid the unwanted pregnancy. Next question. Major defects associated with congenital rubella are all except A, cataract, B, congenital least disease, C, deafness, D, microcephaly. The correct answer is going to be option D, microcephaly. So it is showing the image where the infant face will be affected. So the condition where baby head is much smaller than expected, so but the body will be bigger. So during the pregnancy the baby head grows because the baby brain grows. So it can be occurred during the baby brain is not developed properly during the pregnancy or has stopped growing after birth, which results in a smaller head size. So this is which we call as a microcephaly. So you have to remember what is meant by microcephaly. So head will be not growth, even the brain also not growth, even if it in the during the pregnancy or after the delivery. Also the size the head size will be not in the growing stage. So this is the actually the image as given is a point. So this is the actually the size of the it, but it will be shorter as we seen here. So this kind of disease which we call as a microcephaly, as the image is given only for your reference purpose. Combs test is done for the diagnosis of. Comb test is done for the diagnosis of A. Alkapoteinuria, B. Neonatal hypothyroidism, the RH isoimmunizations, the sickle cell anemia. Combs test is done for the diagnosis of RH isoimmunizations. Mostly, yes, the same answers correct, because this condition that happen when the pregnant woman blood protein is incompatible with the baby, causing her immune systems to react and destroy the baby blood cells. So here is how the blood cells will be going to be during the pregnancy time, and what is the output of the baby has been delivered, as is showing here. So this kind of scenario which we call as a RH isoimmunizations. Human milk is rich in which of the following amino acid? Human milk is rich in which of the following amino acid? A. Cysteine and theorin, B. Methionine and theorin, C. Alanine and arginine, D. Lysine and phenylethylamine. The correct answer is going to be cysteine and theorin. Moving on to the next question. Idle desk recommended. Idle desk is recommended for what? In a school child. A. Minus desk, B. Plus desk, C. Zero desk, D. All of the above. The correct answer is going to be option A, minus desk. So this is the problem will be occurred is recommended in schools, because you know what, this is the very important during the maintenance of a good posture is very important in the children during the growing stage. So which will minus desk will be recommended in the school. A child with school phobia, failure and not interested in studies as what? A child with school phobia, failure and not interested in studies as a option A, juvenile declinancy, B, habit defect, C, personality defect, D, educational difficulties. Correct answer is going to be educational difficulties. So the child has this kind of any phobia, like say school phobia, which is not interested, and the failure, which are very not interested in the studies. So these kind of scenarios will be comes under the educational difficulties. So you have to identify the children. If he is facing this one these three issues, then you have to identify what kind of educational difficulties where the child is facing. Next question. Antimicrobial factor present in breast milk. Antimicrobial factor present in the breast milk is what? A, macrophages, B, secretory IgA, C, lysozyme, D, all of the above. So the correct answer is going to be all these have antimicrobial factor. So guys, this is the questions today in 10th series. So out of 100 videos we are completed 10 videos successfully. So remaining we have the 90 videos on MLHP examination preparations. So guys, don't forget to like the video and share the video, and subscribe for Examdays TSAP channel for regular MLHP updates. Also download this PDF from the description box, and if you have any questions, any doubts, you can use the comment box for the suggestion and questions. Thank you so much.